What's happening, everyone? It's Rome here again. Another episode of Rome Knows Nothing podcast. So this week, got a bunch of news and rumors for you that I'm going to run down. Give you my quick thoughts. I have my thoughts on Black Panther. I have my thoughts on 3 billboards. And I might do something special for you at the end. So stick around. Anybody that's into superhero movies, you'll probably enjoy hearing this. It'll be quick. So just, stick around to the end. Don't shut it off. So, here we go. Robert Pattinson joins Willem Dafoe in the Witch director's new film, The Lighthouse. So Rob Eggers directed The Witch. That was a pretty highly acclaimed movie when it came out. This one, the sort of synopsis or whatever that we have so far about The Lighthouse, it's a fantasy horror set in the world of old seafaring myths. So that sounds kind of interesting to me. So yeah, I got my eyes on this one. Let's see. Yeah, we'll skip over that one. So Star Wars Episode 9, they hired their art director, and it's going to be the art director that did Blade Runner 2049. So if you've seen Blade Runner 2049, you should be super excited about this hiring for Episode 9. I think this is perfect and couldn't have made a better choice with that one. So the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie, the little Spider-Man spinoff or whatever that Sony's doing, they got the Captain Marvel writers, Geneva Robertson Dworet and Lindsay Beer. And then the director of the movie is going to polish the draft off. So the writers of Captain Marvel are going to work on the Black Cat Silver Sable movie, and then the director of the Silver Sable movie, Black Cat Silver Sable movie, is going to, touch it up or whatever and put her little flair on it. So, I guess whenever we see Captain Marvel, we'll be able to have a better idea of if this is a good choice or not. So, Disney came out and said that they're not trying to kill Netflix. They said that they like Netflix and what they're doing and everything like that, and that the streaming service that Disney's coming out with isn't trying to kill Netflix. I say, ha, ha, ha. I think that's a bunch of baloney. I think that Disney would love if they could overtake Netflix. If they could somehow buy Netflix, they would love that. Why wouldn't they? So maybe they're not trying to kill them. Maybe they're just trying to eventually buy them. So Ryan Murphy, the creator of all the American Horror Stories and, a bunch of TV shows, he signed a deal with Netflix. It's a huge deal. $300 million is what they're saying. That's crazy. So he's been recently working with FX a lot, and I can't remember off the top of my head what other shows he's been doing. If he's been doing anything else besides those recently. But he signed this deal with Netflix, and I'm sure that he's going to have, not only is it the money, but I guess there was like this huge bidding war for him too, to sign like some exclusive deal. And I'm thinking that he probably wanted just all sorts of freedom and everything, and be able to play with the binge, setting and everything. I think he's going to fare well with Netflix. I think that's probably going to wind up being a good deal for them, because I'm sure he'll be doing a lot of shows. Okay, so the Call of Duty movie, that got a director. It's the director of Sicario 2, which I'm not completely sold on yet. Did this Gamora TV show. I have no idea I'm not sure who this person is. I don't know anything about him. So, just like I was saying before, once when Sicario 2 comes out, we'll see how that goes, because I'm not completely sold that. I mean, they got rid of Denis Villeneuve, and I think that he was a huge part of why that first movie was a success. So, we'll see how this next one is. Then we'll probably have a better idea of how this Call of Duty movie is going to be. But even if Sicario 2 is really good, the Call of Duty movie still probably is going to be crap. Let's see. Grace and Frankie got renewed for fifth season at Netflix. That's pretty sweet. I really like Grace and Frankie. Me and my partner watched that together. That's one of our favorite shows. Those two together they have some great chemistry. But I'm not really sure where they're going to keep going with this. I don't really know I'm not sure how long this show can keep going. It's got to be over pretty soon. Let's see. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Season 4 is coming out, and Netflix came out and said that they're going to be releasing this season 4 in 2 parts. So they're going to release the first 6 episodes in May. And then they're going to come out with the second half later in the year. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're just trying to prolong the buzz, because I'm sure a lot of shows come out and there's a lot of hype for a couple weeks, but then people watch it super quick and everybody watches it within 2 weeks and then nobody talks about it after that. So maybe they're just trying to prolong that. Maybe they're just toying with different models and seeing what works and what doesn't. So the Nightwing director, it's the guy who did the Lego Batman movie. Is it Chris McKay? I think he said the script for Nightwing is nearly done. That is pretty cool. I'm down for that. But they're taking their time. So it's going to be a long time before we see this movie. It's not a priority at WB. That's fine. No kidding. So no big deal. But the script's done, and it comes from somebody who's well acclaimed. So, okay. So news came out that Sony turned down all of the Marvel movie rights way back in the day for only $25 million. They said, no, get rid of all those guys. We don't want them. Bring me Spider-Man. That was sort of what they said. They only wanted Spider-Man. Bring me Spider-Man. So it's just old out of touch executives who don't really know what the people want or what they will want in the future. You can't predict, so maybe put people in those positions that know what they're talking about. Get guys who are innovative and can think ahead, think into the future. Let's see. Ooh, the Lost in Cloverfield cinematographer. He's making his directorial debut. So it's going to be Teddy Bears Are for Lovers. And this was a short film, and it originally followed, let's see. It follows a college playboy Colin and his current girlfriend Sarah as they try to escape a horde of bloodthirsty teddy bears gifted to Colin by his ex-girlfriends. So it's just this wild short film, but then apparently they're going to somehow stretch this into a feature-length film. I bet that it's going to have a cool look to it. So I don't know. This will be interesting. That's, at least right now, it's something to be hopeful for. So the Kung Fury movie that they're going to be doing, This has got Michael Fassbender, David Hasselhoff. It's now got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's going to be playing the president. Well, it's not confirmed that he's going to be playing the president, but I'm sure that that's what's going to happen. So that movie's just going to be so outrageous, so over the top. It'll probably be funny. Black Panther, its opening weekend did something like $245 million. It's just crushing all these records. Black Panther is just dominating. You'll hear my thoughts soon. Let's see. The Transformers universe, there was all this talk about it, getting this huge writers' room together, and all these people were going to be working on it and making it this big universe and making it this big thing. Well, come to find out that that universe is over. This Bumblebee spinoff is going to come out, and then the universe is probably just going to reboot. So it's going to have a whole new cast, crew, all that. It's just going to get completely rebooted from the ground up. Good news, good news. Let's get that. Just a completely different look, a completely different feel. Step away from the Michael Bay productions. So, let's see. Black Widow solo movie. Chris Evans pretty much confirmed that there's going to be a Black Widow solo movie. He was quoted as saying something about when the Captain Marvel and Black Widow movies come out. So, pretty much confirmed for us that that'll happen. I guess better late than never. So, that's the news and rumors I got for you right now. I'm going to have another episode that comes out in a couple days that will have a bunch of more news and rumors for you, and it's going to be a couple more days up to date for you. So if you guys are on the top of your news and rumor game, as far as TV and movies and everything goes, then this might be a little out of date for you. So my apologies. But so let's see. Is there anything I've been watching? I watched this Netflix movie, When We First Met. I thought it was pretty good. It was Adam Devine, the guy from Workaholics. He was in it. There's a few, recognizable faces and stuff in there, but it was okay. It was just about this guy that was trying to relive. He was reliving each day, but he was trying to so it was sort of like a romantic comedy Groundhog's Day, sort of what people were saying. And he was trying to just make things go right to fall in love with this girl. It was a super obvious movie, and there was sort of this twist that I saw coming from 2 miles away. But it was good. It was worth watching. It was definitely worth your time, I would say. I'm not going to give any ratings or anything on that one. So, yeah, that's about it. Been trying to get through a lot of Oscar movies. My next episode, I'll have some thoughts on some Oscar movies and everything for you. So, right now, I'm going to give my thoughts on 3 Billboards. I'm not going to give any spoilers on this one. I do have my rating up on the website, so just click on the Rome's rating link. Go to romeknowsnothing.wordpress.com and then click on Rome's ratings. Scroll through, you'll eventually see the 3 Billboards links. Got all the links to the writer, director, IMDb page to the movie. Got all my broken down ratings, and it's got my total rating. So check that out. But 3 Billboards, it's about I didn't know anything about it going in. I knew that it was highly acclaimed and all these awesome acting performances. I didn't know what the movie was about, though. Well, it's pretty obvious pretty quickly once the movie starts what the movie is about. So these 3 Billboards, it's just about a mother who believes that she has been wronged, who takes out ads on 3 billboards on the outskirts of town to upset the sheriff in the police department. So that's, without going into too much, that's what the movie's about. Now, everything about this movie is amazing. This movie is great. The score, I don't remember it being anything, I don't remember it being better than a bunch of other things, because now 3 Billboards excels and is better than most movies at almost everything. This screenplay is just out of this world. If this doesn't win original screenplay at the Oscars this upcoming weekend, I would be shocked. Now, the performances are better than most movies you're going to see. Frances McDormand is probably going to win the Oscars. They're the Best Actress Oscar. Sam Rockwell's probably going to win the Supporting Actor Oscar. So, this movie excels past most movies in lots of areas. I can't recommend this movie enough. There's some dark, twisted humor in it. And it's kind of dark. The subject matter is kind of dark, but there is some points of levity. And the actors do such a great job and the director does such a good job of capturing the actors' performances, but the actors do such a good job of just portraying these feelings and this heart and this emotion that you want to laugh and cry at the same time in a couple scenes. I can't recommend this movie enough. I think it'll probably win Best Picture. The more I think about it, the more I see these other nominees, I'm pretty sure it'll probably win Best Picture. So, we'll see what happens with that. But Woody Harrelson is amazing in this movie. I can't say enough about it. Just see this movie. See this movie. This is one of my favorite movies that came out last year, hands down. Okay, so I want to talk about Black Panther. I'll go into a little bit more detail about Black Panther here. So at some point, I'm going to go into a spoiler territory. So if you're not trying to hear the spoilers, then just skip ahead a little bit. Okay? But I'll tell you, I'll give you a time frame that you can skip ahead once we get to that point where I'm going to get into the spoiler territory. I'll give you a time frame and then we'll go from there. So, non-spoiler stuff about Black Panther. This movie was so good, so good. It was just wonderfully shot. There was beautiful lighting throughout the entire movie. Wakanda was just gorgeous. The art direction, the set and costume design, this stuff was perfect. And it was awesome because it was so different. It was such a great change and such a drastic change from every other Marvel movie. Now the one complaint that I did have about like this aspect, these aspects of the movie, Angela Bassett's wig was horrendous. I thought that was just absolutely ridiculous and it looked so bad on her hairline. Very minor complaint. Sound acting all the way around. Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman, they back and forth was so great. That was so, oh man, that was awesome. I loved that, their dynamic between the two of them. Uh, I forget the names too. So the general or whatever, and then T'Challa's sister, they were awesome. They were hilarious. They stood out. They did great. They stood out, and they didn't detract from the movie. They didn't take away from the story. They were an integral part of the story, which I loved. So the choreography throughout was great. It was just absolutely outstanding. The fighting and action sequences and stuff, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. The score I thought was awesome. I thought that there was like a theme that was playing. It was like the Killmonger theme or whatever. So like every time he was, coming through, that I thought was really good. I thought that worked for me. I got excited when that happened. When I started hearing that, I got really excited. So the story was somewhat simple, like it was a pretty simple story. It was a pretty simple origin story, but it was effective. The villain had good motivation, great motivation. And not only that, but you get this sort of callback from the beginning of the movie. And while some people might have been hugely surprised when you get this reveal, like I don't think that it was some huge reveal. I think that it was pretty obvious what was what. But we'll go into the once we get into spoilers or whatever, we can talk about that. Yeah, there was just so many amazing shots in this movie, from, some of the action scenes to not even the action scenes. When Killmonger, at one point they were coming in on Killmonger, and I'll talk about it in the spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything, but man, like the shot was awesome. It did this 180. So the camera was upside down and it was zooming in. And while it was zooming in, it was slowly rotating and turning right side up. Oh, dude. And I'll get into like the context of that and why it was so awesome, but like, oh, it was so cool. So yeah, I just, Black Panther, man, I just can't say enough about it. Just like Three Billboards. Can't say enough about Black Panther. It was probably my favorite MCU movie. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, I would say skip ahead to the 30-minute mark. So, or not the 30-minute mark, I'm sorry. Just skip ahead 5 minutes if you don't want to hear spoilers. So, spoilers for Black Panther starting now. So, the Stan Lee cameo, I thought was awesome. How he popped up in the casino and he took that money real quick or whatever. So I'll just take that real quick. That was so funny. And it was all right there. It didn't take away from the movie. It didn't cut away. It wasn't too over the top funny or slapsticky. That was perfect. That was great. I loved how that was written into the movie. The casino fight scene, that was so great too. So when the camera went up, and then there was that fighting going on up top, and then she jumps down and stabs the dude that's back on the ground level, and then the camera sort of slides over to Black Panther, and he's fighting these guys. And then he jumps up to the top, like the little balcony area, and the camera follows him. And that whole time, it doesn't cut at all. That is just totally gnarly. That shot was so sweet. Now, maybe there were some cuts hidden in there, but I don't think that there was. I need to see it again. I will see it again. But there was also a video that I saw too on YouTube that had it was like a scene breakdown that Ryan Coogler did for that scene. And I have it bookmarked, and I'll watch it at some point, but I haven't yet. So the chase scene I thought was incredible. it just, I feel like we probably saw most of it in like the trailers and stuff, but just seeing it all put together and seeing it on the IMAX screen and everything, whew, man, yeah, that was sweet. So, yeah, oh, the shot that I wanted to talk about too. So, the shot that I wanted to talk about was Killmonger when he first took the throne and that was coming in upside down and it spun. It was just so cool because it was sort of telling or foreshadowing or what have you, the complete 180 that you're going to get from Killmonger being on the throne as opposed to T'Challa. So I thought that was really neat. I thought that was really interesting. That might have been my favorite shot of the movie. That might have been, I might have even liked that one more than that one long shot in the casino. Yeah, that was just great. So yeah, the end scenes, the post credits stuff. I guess we get to see Bucky and he's in Wakanda. He's getting healed up and ready to fight. He was actually mentioned in the movie at one point, just not by name. So when they bring in what's his name, the US government, was it Ross or whatever? She says, "Oh, another one of them, huh?" And like or like another white boy or something. And like, it's supposed to be like a funny thing and it is, but then it's like, oh, another one. Like, oh yeah, we got Bucky or whatever in the back too. So that was really neat. So yeah, that's about it for the spoilers. I was going to break down just like the little plot points and just go over what happened in the movie, but it's like, go see the movie, man. It's Black Panther. Dude, go see it. This movie is so amazing. It's pointless for me to just break down the whole movie for you. I haven't even given you too many spoilers. Like, Killmonger takes the throne. Like, that ain't shit, dude. Just go see the movie. Go see Black Panther. I forget what the Captain Marvel tie-in was. I got this link written down. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. So I'm at like the 29-minute mark. I think that's about 5 minutes or so. But what this last little bit I was going to do for you guys, since, especially this is a short little episode that I have, I wanted to run down my rankings for all of the Marvel movies, all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. So I'll start at the bottom. I'll start at 18 and I'll work my way to the top and maybe give you some thoughts here and there. So you might not agree with me. That's totally cool. I know there's some movies that are just way off on some people's lists and everything, but I think that everybody's lists are going to be drastically different too, though. I just think that probably everybody else thinks more highly of the movies as a whole than I do. But now we're at a good spot. I can start going. Everybody is probably here and not skipped forward. So, number 18, I'm going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This movie put me to sleep. I thought this movie was garbage. The third act, I thought, just completely fell apart. This movie was barely funny. The first one was at least a little funny. I thought the second one was barely funny. The opening scene was awesome, though. I loved the opening scene. But yeah, just you lost me after that. So, number 17, I got Thor: The Dark World. This movie didn't do much for me. It was just kind of blah. It looked blah. Yeah. Number 16, Captain America: The First Avenger. It was just a blah whatever movie. I never really enjoyed it. It's just blah. And then number 15, the same with this movie, Thor. The first Thor was just kind of blah. I know a lot of people call it Shakespeare and blah, blah, blah. It's like, Yeah, dude, because the guy that made the movie has made Shakespeare movies. That doesn't make you some like astute observationist because you call frickin' the first Thor movie Shakespearean. Thor was just blah, man. That movie is not entertaining. I don't. Especially when you stack it up to all these other freaking MCU movies. Especially when you stack it up to all these other like superhero movies in general. Come on, Thor's garbage. Anyways, number 14, First Guardians of the Galaxy. I absolutely love this movie. When I first saw it, it was my birthday weekend and I was just woohoo and everything was great. But then I watched it when it came out on video, like the first week it came out on video, and it did not hold up at all. At all. I've tried watching it a couple times since then, and the same thing. It just does not hold up. Whatever novelty and whatever unique, whatever characteristics that qualities that it had, that first viewing, that opening night, just did not, it has not had since. So, number 13, The Incredible Hulk. This movie's got Hulk in it, so it's going to score a ton of points just off of that alone. But the movie's totally forgettable. So now we get into territory where these movies are just not like complete whatever, just blah. So number 12, we got Ant-Man. This movie was really funny. I thought the chemistry between the whole little, crew, heist crew, that was really good. But it was just a bland origin story. And I'm a little salty still that Marvel fired the visionary behind Ant-Man and then put on, was it Peyton Reeves or whatever? So, number 11, Thor Ragnarok. This was a good movie, but it was just totally out of character. So, it got bumped way down because of that. But I really enjoyed it. So, my top 10. Actually, here. So, I'll run down my 18 through 11 for you before I get into my top 10. So at number 18, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 17, Thor the Dark World. Number 16, Captain America the First Avenger. Number 15, Thor. Number 14, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 13, The Incredible Hulk. Number 12, Ant-Man. Number 11, Thor Ragnarok. So, getting cracking down on that top 10. Number 10, we have Iron Man 2. This started a little higher up on my list, I think, and it eventually dropped a little down. I really like the Iron Man movies. I really like this movie. Iron Man 2 is good. It's a solid movie. It's just not quite as good as the rest of the top 10 because I do really enjoy the rest of the top 10. So, number 9, Avengers Age of Ultron. That opening scene is incredible. Sure, it's just another whatever BS villain and has little minions. And it's, but like, you get to see all the Avengers on screen together. I don't know what more you want. Like, at some point, it's like, if I'm only getting one character, that's not okay. But if it's all the characters, okay, I can live with that. So, number 8, I have Doctor Strange. This is one of the better origin movies. I like how it just stands alone. It stands apart. It sort of looks and feels different than the rest of the MCU movies. Not quite as much as Black Panther does, though. But it's a step in that direction. I don't think Doctor Strange gets enough praise. Highly underrated. So, number 7, I have Iron Man 3. This movie is great. Shane Black is great. Justin Theroux helped write the screenplay. What up? Leftovers. Come on, man. Iron Man 3 is just so much fun. That twist. I mean, I'm a big Mandarin fan too. I am a big Mandarin fan. But dude, that twist worked for me. It totally worked for me. So many people complained about it and hated. Man, get over yourselves. That movie was awesome. Iron Man 3 should probably be higher on my list, honestly. That could crack into the top 5. Iron Man 3 could be in my top 5. It could be higher than these next two. But I have number 6, I have Iron Man. So one spot ahead, I got Iron Man. I just put it there because it was so groundbreaking, and it was so, it was just innovative. It set everything off. And that's the same reason why I have number 5, Avengers. It was the first time we see all these characters together. It's got that one shot. That was just so great. That sweeping shot of them standing in the middle of the street. That was so gnarly, dude. I can't get enough of stuff like that. So, getting down into the nitty gritty, you guys know what my top 4 is going to be now. You just don't know the order. So, number 4, I have Spider-Man Homecoming. This was further down on my list, but I watched it a couple more times recently, and this has grown on me. I'm not willing to say that this is like my favorite Spider-Man or whatever. I really enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I thought those were criminally attacked. But it's a shame what they did to Mark Webb, because then they just attack this movie and ruin this movie when it's absolutely freaking beautiful. And then instead of getting some other like big, awesome like property or, awesome project to do next, he goes and does Gifted, which is really solid, with Chris Evans, and it's got like, really fine, child performances and stuff, but it's like, he should be doing something else. He should have had more opportunities, I think, after the Spider-Man movie he did, but whatever. Anyways, but Spider-Man Homecoming is very good. Michael Keaton, probably my favorite MCU villain. If I did an MCU villains list, I'm sure that he would be number 1 or number 2. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming, number 4. Number 3, I have Captain America Civil War. This movie was just great, and it was sort of like an Avengers movie. It sort of functioned like an Avengers movie. So, and that you guys know how I have those rated high, simply because of all the characters and everything. So when you get the look and feel and everything of a Captain America Winter Soldier, but then you start adding in like but then create an Avengers movie with it, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Now multiply that by whatever. And that's what Avengers Infinity War is going to be. That's what Avengers 4 is going to be. So, I'm stoked for that. But, top 2, what's left is Captain America Winter Soldier and Black Panther. That's going to be my number 1 and number 2. For right now, I have Black Panther at number 2 because I just don't know. It just needs to sit longer. I'm confident in saying that Black Panther is different enough, and it's technically great enough that I like it better than Civil War. But I don't know if I like it better than Winter Soldier. I can't say that. Winter Soldier is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Winter Soldier works as not a superhero movie. And it's still, it doesn't change. It's the same movie, and it's just as Winter Soldier it doesn't feel like a superhero movie. And that's what I really like about it. Same sort of thing with Logan. It doesn't feel like a superhero movie. And that's sort of what I like about it. So that's my my top 18. I'll run through the rankings real quick again. Number 18, Guardians 2. Number 17, Thor: The Dark World. Number 16, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 15, Thor. Number 14, Guardians. Number 13, The Incredible Hulk. Number 12, Ant-Man. Number 11, Thor: Ragnarok. Number 10, Iron Man 2. Number 9, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 8, Doctor Strange. Number 7, Iron Man 3. Number 6, Iron Man. Number 5, Avengers. Number 4, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Number 3, Captain America: Civil War. Number 2, Black Panther. Number 1, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I'm curious to know what everybody else's rankings are. So, if you're listening to this, if you've made it this far, give me your rankings. Maybe you don't want to do all 18. I would love it if you would do all 18. Maybe do your top 5. Maybe do your top 10. Maybe do as many as you want, but I'm really curious to know what everybody's top 18 are. If everybody could go through and actually try to do your top 18. It's pretty tough. You'll probably be flip-flopping back and forth for a while. So that's all I got for you right now. Check out the website, romeknowsnothing.wordpress.com. You can check out all my Rome's ratings. There's a few things on there that I'm going to talk about in my next episode, which will be up in a day or two. So you can get a little preview. You can see what the ratings are going to be. See the movies that I'm going to talk about next episode. I've been watching a lot of the Oscar stuff. Probably this weekend, I'll do a little Oscar thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet for that, but I'll do something for the Oscars this weekend. So yeah, check the website out. Check out the Rome's ratings. Check out just the podcast links, the YouTube videos. Tell me what you'd like to see on the website. If you're on Facebook, check out the Facebook group, Movies and TV Discussion Group. This group was just started a couple weeks ago, but it's been popping off. We have daily posts. We have this March Madness movie thing we're doing. So every day we're going to be, it's just like movies from the 90s going up against each other. And there's 128 movies pitted against each other. So it's twice the size as the March Madness bracket, the basketball thing. And we're going to be going down to see what the movie and TV discussion group's favorite movie of the 90s is. So that's awesome. I'm super excited for this. We got day 1 going today. So check out this group and check out all the matchups, vote on this stuff. Check me out on YouTube and Twitter. I don't use Twitter much. Check out Instagram. I post board game stuff, board game pictures on there mostly. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you back here next time.